I don't know, for me the tip-off was when Celeste went to the bathroom. That's
right, but she very clearly fucked up
Well,
there.
yeah, there. I didn't pick it up at first either, Byakuya.
But yeah, no one actually told her that Taka was dead.
Yeah, that's true. That's right. There's no reason Celeste should have said, just like those guys died. When she said that, none of us had told her Taka was dead.
Exactly. And we didn't run into her until after we were all out in the hall. So there was never any chance for her to have seen his body in the equipment room for herself.
So how did you know, Celeste? How did you know? How did you know more than one person that had been killed? And how did you know they were both guys? Because Kyoko had also appeared, right? So she could have also been dead too.
You all have such vivid imaginations, you know that?
Imaginations?
You claim that I was lying when I told you about the suspicious person I saw. Then what about the picture I took? How do you explain this picture of the costumed villain dragging Hifumi away?
It has to be some kind of setup, right? Celeste put the suit on, then she used the camera's timer to set up the picture.
Have you so quickly forgotten? You are the only one who could have possibly fit into that suit. Plus, I happen to know that this particular camera does not have a timer. It is an unassailable fact that the picture of Hifumi being dragged away. If everything I told you was a lie, how can this picture exist? Simple. Are we really sure that... No, are we sure that's really a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away? By that, surely there are other explanations than the one you're offering up. No, there is no other explanation.
Other explanations? Man, I'm sweating lately. Look at that. I like having a conniption. If it isn't a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away, it's probably a picture of the personless thing. They have been drinking. Hifumi is dragging the suspect away? I mean, it's not the dancing, what the freak?
You know the answer.
Yeah, I mean, I just figured that the picture was just them setting the robot around Hifumi's neck. It's not a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away. I would say it's a picture of Hifumi dragging the suspect away.
That's certainly within the realm of possibility. The one being dragged off in the picture isn't Hifumi, but the person in the robot suit. We've simply been led to believe it's the other way around. Might only exist to lead us astray even further. If you saw someone wearing something like that in this situation, of course you'd notice and it'd be suspicious.
That's what happened. They put me to sleep and you made me the bad guy in all this.
Such a thing. Possible. Hifumi was dragging him away? Ridiculous. Is it? I don't think it's ridiculous at all. Then shut your mouth and allow me to educate you.
Celeste thinks she can prove there's no way Hifumi was dragging the suspect away. But is that really possible? I mean, I already clicked Celeste was the killer, right, previously, so I mean, there's nothing we can change.
Thank God, we're almost done.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't expect...
I think all that's left is the rhythm game one more time or something.
I see. I mean, I already knew what it was from the start, so I mean, like, there was no need for a court session. I knew it all.
Well, to be fair, you got to see it twice.
Well, I mean, I got to see the beginning part.
You saw most of it twice.
Yeah. No, even if the person inside the suit were unconscious, they could still stand up like that. Because Robo Justice suit had a certain characteristic. And given if I was just going through this the first time, I probably would still think it was Hifumi right now.
How do I stop it from being auto?
I press spacebar.
Oh, there we go.
You totally can't bend at the waist, seems like a pretty obvious oversight. That's right, they totally made a mistake when they made it so it couldn't bend at the waist.
I'm not so sure that was a mistake. I think the suit was designed from the beginning to be used in that way.
Well, that's a new face. Celeste and Hifumi took the suit they'd specifically designed and stuffed Hiro into it. That's how they were able to fake the whole thing. The point of all of it was to make us believe whoever in the suit was to blame.
Well then, I suppose this is checkmate.
Checkmate? Don't make me laugh, you idiot! What do you mean, checkmate?
And there's more faces. Celeste?
Cram me into your little guilty box. Well, there's one little problem. Have you already forgotten what Hifumi told us as he lay dying?
But Hifumi's your accomplice. Hey Hifumi, who was it? Who attacked you? Who tried to kill you?
Who killed me? That's right. I remember their name. Yasuhiro.
Do you know how that one works?
Well, I mean,
When we asked him who attacked him, his answer was quite clear, was it not? He said, and I quote, Yasuhiro. In other words, Yasuhiro Hagekure.
you missed a few E's there.
Ah!
Wait, but my name isn't really Yasuhiro, it's actually Taro. Your confusing statements don't make any sense. You're only making things more complicated.
But are we sure he really was pointing the finger at Hiro? What the hell are you talking about? I'll burn you alive!
Kyoko, what do you mean by that?
Think back to how Hifumi used to talk to us. How did he refer to each of us?
I
He
don't
said
know.
serious a lot.
I don't think he said for serious a lot.
He didn't say for serious a lot, that's Yasuhiro.
I don't remember. I don't remember.
Alright, here's a hint.
Last
He calls you Mr. Naegi.
Okay. Last names. That's right, our last names! He called us all by our last names.
Exactly. I know I heard him say Mr. Naegi more than once, for example.
In my mind,
So if-
in my mind, I thought this whole thing was Hifumi being the accomplice because he liked Celeste, so that's why I thought he said that.
Oh no, he sold her out.
Yeah.
So if Hifumi did mean to say Hiro's name, he would have said his last name, Hagekure. I'm sure it was just incidental. By chance, he was just his first name.
Indecent?
Don't talk.
Alright.
Random chance. Now, isn't that a convenient explanation? No. There's no reason to think that he would have said the name any different than normal. But he must have run out of energy before he could say any more.
So Hifumi was trying to tell us the last name of whoever killed him.
But the name he said doesn't apply to anyone here.
Well, no, hold on. There's one person it could apply to. And that's Celeste. She never actually told us what her real name is.
What? What did you just say? To think you take your false accusations so far, I don't know whether to laugh or spit. Come on, enough with your idiotic blather. Yasuhiro is a loser's name. Do you think I look like a loser to you?
Yes.
What? I think I've earned the right to be a little on edge.
Okay, then fill us in. What is your real name?
Fine, make sure your ear holes are wide and open enough to listen up. Ugh. My real name is Celesia Lierburg. Could you please stop making me repeat myself over and over again?
Celeste still won't give up, so then I have to rhythm game her into submission.
Oh.
Not yet.
Oh.
Ugh. Her voice is hard, man.
Oh, she got to show our e-handbook, doesn't she?
Yeah, so is,
Show us your
fucking Sakura.
e-handbook, you freaking scrub. Wait, why is those letters upside down? You have no way to contradict me? Yeah, I do. I shot that. You filthy scrub game.
I shot it too.
Same.
I shot it, and then it faded away into into nothingness as I was shooting it.
So you failed to shoot it.
Yes. There you
Wow.
go.
Way to try.
Show us your handbook, please. But the real question is, how did Hifumi get to know her name?
You gotta remember he remembered, like, everything.
That's true. That's it, the handbook.
What?
Anytime
He
you turn
became Mobius.
Anytime you turn your handbook on, it shows the owner's name when it boots up, right? Moonoookuumaa told us about it before.
This handbook is absolutely vital to the healthy school life, so don't lose it. When you start it up, it will display your name. Always make sure you have the right one. Now, this is not your everyday notebook. It has so many more uses than that.
So all we have to do is check her handbook. That'll clear up everything. That's how we can find our celestial name.
That's an invasion of privacy. I refuse to cooperate.
Then we'll just rope ya. Celeste, can you please just tell us what really happened? Please just tell us!
Even when I'm put in check, it's my nature not to give up. Because until the game's over, you never know what might happen.
Fine, then let me settle it. Let me go over the case again from the beginning and... Oh, freak, it's time for the comic book.
Oh yeah, comic book time.
And look at me just closing my eyes and thinking, what the freak is that Hifumi's face? That's an incredible face. Alright, are you ready to reenact this?
I'm in the middle of reenacting it.
Alright, let's reenact this. This is exactly what happened! Before anything, the killer persuaded someone to help carry out the murder, and that person was... Hifumi. With an accomplice, the killer was able to execute a number of otherwise impossible schemes. First, they convinced someone to meet with them in the rec room last night at 1 in the morning. That someone they met was Hiro. The murderous duo intended to pass Hiro off as the prime suspect, so when they met up with him, they drugged him, knocked him out, and stuffed him into the Robo Justice suit. Next, Hifumi positioned himself to make it look like Robo Justice was attacking him, while the killer used digital camera to take pictures of the assault. They did all of this to create evidence that put the suspicion on Hiro. When they were done with him, they shoved him into the still unconscious into the pool room locker. And then finally, at 6 AM, they moved into the murder phase of their plan. They called Taka to the equipment room. And look at that eye that Hifumi has in the top left there. And that's where Hifumi killed him, making a scene of their first murder. The murder weapon was Justice Hammer 4, which left there in the equipment room. The reason Hammer number 4 was used to create the confusion about the order of the crimes. So, next, they falsified 2 more assault incidents. For these attacks, the killers pretended to be the victims to solidify Robo Justice of the suspect. The first fake incident was the attack in the rec room. There, the killers wanted us to see Justice Hammer 1 and Robo Justice pictures they had taken. They wanted to make sure we bought the surprise attack story. The second fake incident was the attack in the library. This time, they planted Justice Hammer 2 and injured Hifumi to sell us that story. With these 2 incidents, the killers were able to create a certain preconception in our minds that the suspect was increasing in size of the hammers and attacking people in order as they did. We fell right into their trap and started looking for the suspect based on that, but... while we did that, we left Hifumi alone in the nurse's office. This is exactly what Hifumi was hoping for. They just did magic and... Alright. He took the blood packet from the refrigerator and Justice Hammer 3, and turned the room into a crime scene, which himself had apparently been brutally murdered. He let out a scream that drew us back, and when we returned, that's what we found. Meanwhile, the other group that had been found out searching found Taka's body at the same time. So when we heard the body discovery announcement, we naturally assumed it was for Hifumi. We left the nurse's office and Hifumi once again took advantage of the situation. He simply got back up and made his escape. When we learned his body had disappeared, we all rushed back to the nurse's office, and once again Hifumi had the chance he was waiting for. This time he snuck into the equipment room. He wrapped Taka's body in tarp, the blue tarp to be precise, and used the dolly to move it all the way down to the repository. That explained how each of the bodies disappeared. But even Hifumi did not know the true killer had in mind for him for their final act. Their plan all along was to kill Hifumi and get rid of the one person who could betray them. And they did it using an ordinary, everyday hammer from the repository. That should cover everything that happened in its case. And the villain behind it all is...
Kiss.
Oh, we finally made it. I've been sitting here.
That was a really long comic book. Celeste, sorry, you lose. But I want to find out her real name. It's something Yasuhiro.
I lost? I lost. I was forced to utter such words. They hang heavy around my neck.
And then you admit it, you're the killer.
Listen to you trying to take charge, as if you're my private instructor. Actually, no. Teiko Yasuhiro is fine.
Teiko?
So you finally accepted it.
I'm the kind of person, once I've lost, I don't like things to drag on.
Interesting.
Nice. You see, I had most of that together, just like the bits and pieces.
Yeah, well now we get long explanation about why.
And I also don't get why, like how Hifumi was seduced. I mean, maybe you just really like Celeste, I guess.
Okay, Moonoookuumaa, I'm ready to begin.
I forgot to
I suppose this is the end, isn't it?
It is indeed the moment we've all been waiting for. Time to vote. Okay. If you would please locate your lever and cast your vote, and then the votes are all tallied, who will become the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What is gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Man, now that is a shocker. I never would have even suspected.
I mean,
that was the thing.
I still thought it was
I'm
Hifumi.
so sad. I'm so sad I'm gonna lose. Well, I mean, it was Hifumi.
It's basically a formality at this point, but once again, you're totally correct. The blackened this time, the true killer who devised the whole sticky scheme was Celesia Lierburg, or more precisely, Teiko Yasuhiro.
I lost. Well, that sucks. Someone else was a mistake after all. Fumi's ineptitude was beyond all my calculations. So you really did approach Hifumi with this plan. But how did you get him to agree? I can't imagine he would have happily agreed to commit murder.
I'm sure she relied on her specialty. Lying.
Don't make me laugh. I didn't have to lie to him to get him to agree.
It was alter ego.
Then did you use... you know. I knew you'd figure it out, Kyoko. Right, to get Hifumi to act as my accomplice. I used her. For everyone else who's still left, I'll avoid mentioning it by name, but it was one thing Hifumi and Taka were both super into.
Does she mean... Is she talking about alter ego?
What? What? What are you talking about?
In the middle of a very important conversation here.
I'm totally out of the loop as usual. How sad.
Then you're the one that stole it. That's right. And you used it to drag Hifumi into a plan you'd come up with. Right again. Last night after we had our meeting about how it had disappeared, I paid Hifumi a little visit.
Oh, what are you doing here?
I was hoping I could talk to you, alone. It is about what was stolen. I know who did it.
What? What do you mean?
It was Taka. He stole it.
What? No!
And I have proof. Would you like to see it? As it turned out, I'd found a use for the digital camera. I'd taken you-know-what to Taka's room earlier and took pictures of it there. I deleted the pictures as soon as I'd shown it to Hifumi, of course.
Grr, so it was him. How? But how did he do it? He was supposed to yell if either of us got close to her.
You are correct, which is why Taka forced me to steal it.
What?
He threatened me.
He did?
He came to my room last night unannounced, and then it's hard for me to even say. He abused me.
What?
And he took pictures. He said if I did not do as he asked, he would show them to everyone. So I had no choice.
That's a crime, an absolute crime. I knew he'd gone a little crazy, but I never imagined he would go that far.
It was amazing how completely he bought it. I can't express how enjoyable that was.
I'm about to say something I've never said before in my life. I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna fucking kill him.
Wait, please. If you go now, you will be playing right into his hands.
Huh?
Taka is planning to use her to escape. And he has made you his target.
Escape? You don't mean?
Taka is going to try to kill you.
What?
And also he can keep her to himself.
That bastard. Bastard.
Can we allow him to continue with these barbaric acts?
Absolutely not. How could I? I have to save her.
Then, would you like to join with me? It just so happens I have come up with a plan.
Huh?
I have devised a way to reclaim what was stolen and escape this dreadful school. And with that, it is complete.
Huh? What are you talking about?
Oh, nothing. Second thought. That effect that item had on him was remarkable. When a love as twisted as that can still drive people mad, it would seem.
You disgust me. I have another question for you. Was that strange costume Hifumi's creation?
Yeah, it was a real pain in the butt, too. The thing to hide the face and general body size. I had no idea he'd make something like that. But it's my fault for picking him in the first place.
So why'd you decide to make me the suspect?
Because you're stupid.
That's it?
And in that regard, I made the right choice. Stupidity surpassed even my expectation. Life must have been tough on your parents, though.
I feel like I could cry. But when you were explaining your plan to Hifumi, how did you explain the part about him playing dead? What she's asking is, what was Hifumi supposed to do after that, assuming you'd actually let him live?
That's simple. After he did his part and pretended to be dead, once someone showed up, I told him to say that he'd been seriously wounded, but just barely held on.
And he really believed that?
Well, of course. That wasn't all there was to it. As I explained it to Hifumi, the plan was, while you were all questioning him about what had happened to him, I was going to murder someone else. I had an alibi, so nobody could doubt him. I told him that, and he believed it.
It all seems very straightforward, stereotypical.
I just matched the lie to the level of the opponent. He believed the lie wholeheartedly, right up until the moment of his death.
So you had planned to kill him all along?
But of course. There would have been no point to my plan if the one who pretended to be dead did not end up dead himself.
How can human life mean so little to you?
That's a non-issue. I simply did everything in my power to win.
Now you sound like Byakuya.
Derives his pleasure from the thrill of the hunt. In that aspect, we are nothing alike. Then, what made you take things this far?
Was it really? Just for money?
Are you talking about the $10 million Moonoookuumaa offered us? That is a lot of money, that's true. But that's not all there is to it. Began here. My only thought has been escape.
But all along you've been saying how we have to accept living here.
Obviously that was a lie!
Come on, Yasuhiro.
I couldn't take it! I hated it from day one! Anyone else in here? I wanted to get out. Every day was fresh torture. Do you want to know why, huh? Because I had a dream. And accepting a life here would have meant nothing less than giving up on my dream forever. That I could ever do that. In the underground world of gambling, I risked my life to make a metaphorical killing. And it was all for that dream.
And what was that dream of yours?
To live in a European castle.
A castle?
And to gather handsome men from all over the world to serve as my butlers/bodyguards. I was going to make them dress up like vampires and satisfy my every need. I would have created a perfectly aesthetic world of decadence. Living the rest of my life there was my only dream, my only goal. That's what life is all about.
Yep, butler vampires.
I mean, I'm sure that's like every girl's like hopes and dreams, right?
Nope. Combined with my own winnings, Moonoookuumaa's $10 million would have made that dream a reality. Got right to the edge, but unfortunately my dream has been scattered to the wind. Any regrets? I pursued my dream to the very end, so why would I?
You sound so passionate, but you are really able to kill your own friends for it?
Are you asking me to feel guilty? That's a pointless endeavor.